We did a lot of traveling around the South, and we saw that there were a lot of wonderful food places that were not maybe written up in newspapers, but had a lot of customers and a lot of locals. They were on the side of the road. They maybe not sold bait like Dixie Kitchen and Bait Shop, but they might have sold t-shirts. They might have sold gasoline. And then what they had in the back might have been some wonderful food. It might have been egg salad sandwiches. It might have been gumbo. It could have been many things. So we put Southern food because of the diversity of the neighborhood. And we felt that this provided the food options and the money options and also the kind of unusual choices that people could pick from. We just try and take the best of what we found south of the Mason-Dixon line and put it on the menu.
All right, Dion, tell us what's cooking at Dixie Kitchen.
I love Dixie Kitchen. You all could probably tell because I love to eat. So the whole Southern flair, when you walk in, it just has that cute little ambiance like you're in the South, because both my parents are from the South and they're from Mississippi. So obviously I've grown up around a lot of Southern cooking. So that's something that I totally love about the place because it is authentic. You know, I do feel like, hey, I'm at mom's house or I'm at my grandmother's house, and so in that sense I do feel at home.
Right.
Yeah.
And you get what, 4 sides, 5 sides? Is that typical Southern? It's like,
yes.
How many sides can you have?
It's true.
Right.
You do have a lot of side dishes.
Oh my God.
But Dan, do you think
though.
this kind of restaurant like works in Hyde Park? Would it work in other areas? Do you think it's like specific? Or?
I think it works in Hyde Park wonderfully because there's the diversity of the neighborhood, and I think definitely it work in other neighborhoods because I think Chicago's growing, and obviously I think it will work perfectly in Lincoln Park, and I think it will work perfectly in Bucktown or Wicker Park, and so I definitely don't think it's just specific to Hyde Park. I think it's, you know, a wonderful restaurant that you can just kind of plop in.
They actually do have a location.
In Evanston, actually.
Evanston, right.
Right, so I think that's great.
They're actually not from the South, the couple that owns it.
Right.
They've taken this theme from like the Johnny Cakes on the table
Right.
to the way the food is prepared.
But especially because of the knickknacks that are on
Yeah.
the wall. I love
Right.
those.
They got a lot of knickknacks.
You wonder, okay, where did you go to pick this up? And I'm not gonna lie, I really want to ask them,
They
how
have
do I
stories.
get this? How do I get
They
that?
have stories
I would
behind
just
each
love
thing.
to.
They first started putting up things that were from like their family heirlooms that they found like cleaning out, you know, something in their house.
Okay.
Then they started collecting antiques, where it became, you know, a big deal for them to go look for certain things. But now customers bring them things when they clean out, you know, their garage or something.
I had a phenomenal experience. I had I called it the pancakes from
Oh, yeah,
bread.
the
I wasn't
Johnny
sure what they
Cakes.
were called.
Well,
the Johnny
some people
Cakes.
call them
Okay.
hoe cakes, some people call them Johnny Cakes. They have
I've never had, you know, that as bread service, and I thought that was phenomenal. They were just sweet enough, but they weren't like a breakfast pancake, you know. And then we had the fried green tomatoes, which I've only had those one other time in my life, and I just thought they were absolutely phenomenal. They're so
I think
good.
when the restaurant opened, I guess they were pan frying them in the beginning, which is typically maybe how you make them, but they were really busy and in a hurry, so someone took the tomatoes and threw them in the fryer, and they were incredible, and so ever since then it was a mistake that someone like threw them in the wrong thing, and that's how they make them.
I love the food. From the moment that you walk in and when you sit down, you get those Johnny Cakes and the appetizers. For me, the crayfish and corn fritters are wonderful with the jalapeno jelly and the peach glazed chicken wings. I love them. And they just have so much flavor. And the catfish is my favorite. So I love that. I love it.
Do you walk right in, get a table right away?
Well, sometimes it's a little crowded. People do know about Dixie, so that's occasionally, that's something
That's the only problem I
Yeah.
had, quite honestly.
I agree with
waited
you.
an hour.
I agree with
and
you.
you can't, there's no reservation, so you have
Right,
to wait.
right.
And then as soon as you sit down, because they're moving so many people, because
Right.
people do love it like you
Right,
do,
right.
they're like, okay, your order please, you know, and it's like, could I like sit, could I
Okay,
breathe, you know, I was
okay.
standing for an hour.
Okay.
So I had a little bit of a problem with that.
With
I don't know
that, yeah.
if that's a Southern way. I'm a Midwest girl myself, but you know, usually it's slower and, you know, enjoy yourself. And I was a little disappointed in terms of how they rushed you as
Right,
well
right.
after that long wait.
Okay.
What night did you go, or what day did you go?
It was a Friday night at 7.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
I went on a
So-
Sunday, and it was actually really fun because my girlfriend Amy and I went, and she made the comment that it was a lot of families having a Sunday night dinner, and it was so adorable. And we waited probably about 10 minutes, and it was, you know, it was great. And I actually had this wonderful peach colada, and it was served in like this jar. It was like this jelly jar.
Yes,
I mean, she was
I
kind of
love
sick,
it.
and so she wasn't drinking. And I was like, Amy, you have to try this. It's the most incredible like
Oh,
foo
it's
beach drink I've
good.
ever had.
It's good.
It was phenomenal. And from the minute I walked in, everybody was so friendly and smiles all around. And we had the greatest waitress. She was phenomenal, and everything was like, "Hun," and you know, how can I help you? And she was very attentive. And it was packed, and there were still people waiting. And I said to her, I ordered the, I think the shrimp Creole, and I said, you know, I don't like spicy food, so I said, you know, how spicy is this? And she said, would you like to try it? And so she brought me. I've never had this happen in a restaurant before. In like a little dish, she just brought out a little, you know, piece of the shrimp, and it was wonderful. And I said, sure, you know, sign me up. But so it was. I thought that was a really neat thing to do. I've never had that. You know.
But this is your favorite place, Dion?
You're able to go away for a moment and go down to the South and have some wonderful Southern cooking that's affordable, which I do like.
Oh my God, it was
it's
so
totally
great.
affordable, and even if you don't have room, you can still take your dessert to go because it's
Perfect.
wonderful. So I loved it.
And what about for you, Caroline?
I absolutely loved it, and I had never been down there. My service was phenomenal, and the food was just absolutely wonderful. And I had enough to take home and have for lunch the next day, which was great, and it was even better.
And Karen, for you?
And I loved it, except for the wait. And the pecan pie, I just adored. So, you know, to die for. So
Thank you.
that's what I put in there.
Well, you can go find the Southern Hospitality at Dixie Kitchen and Bake Shop at 5225 South Harper Avenue in Hyde Park. Their phone number is 773-363-4943. They are open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week, and reservations are not accepted. And the average dinner tab per person without drinks runs about $10 to $12.